2017 Hot 6 GSL Season 1 Codex Round of 16.
Welcome back, everybody! Never done an intro like that.
No.
GSL
I
Codex.
do keep it fresh every day, Tasteless.
I was born this way, Artosis.
Yeah. That's great.
I gotta
Great answer.
go. See, now here's something I couldn't keep fresh, was a witty remark there.
Yeah.
I'm done, guys. I've used up my energy bars.
Can't always
I'm out.
be witty. That's
Not as witty as some of these pro gamers who bring some great games. Tosis. Guys, tell your friends to join us. We had about maybe 9 or 10 days off here.
yeah. It was like way too long, actually.
Yeah, it felt weird not casting, but we're back here at the GSL Codex.
And that's all that matters is that we are back and
You're here with us.
Oh my God! What a great tournament! The greatest tournament on earth, obviously, easily, better than all else.
Yeah.
And TY going out first into the round of 8. I mean, this seems right. It feels right. This guy is a monster and definitely deserves it. And this loser match, this is super stacked, man. ByuL going up against aLive, but I have to say, looking at the map pool here, it's interesting that ByuL wants to play Echo first. Maybe get it out of the way. Taking that 4th base can be a little bit tough, you know? It gets so close to push for the Terran player.
aLive has had one of the most bumpy roads so far in the GSL Codex for this season. He barely survived his group.
Yeah.
He's shown great games the whole time, but I mean, he's had to push himself to the limit.
And he had a tough matchup against TY. Definitely doesn't match up well against that style, but maybe he'll do a bit better here against ByuL, who says this is his best friend in the round of 16.
Yeah.
It's quite a qualifier, though. That's amongst just 15 people. If you give me 15 random people in Tasteless, he's probably my best friend out of them.
Most of the time. Well, these guys, friends.
I don't know,
now
that guy looks kind of nice.
Let's see what happens. These two friends now, at least for the time being, turned enemies. One of them is about to be eliminated from the GSL. In the upper left, in the blue, he is
ByuL.
in the bottom right, in the red.
aLive.
And we had the L capitalized there. Was that L always capitalized?
Yes,
What if
always.
it's aLive?
Yeah, that could be that could be real.
Live.
That has happened before. Like, remember the pro gamer? It was his ID was VINES, all in caps.
Oh yeah, vaguely.
Vines.
Yeah.
We called them Vines. And one day someone that worked at, back then, GOM TV, told us he wants to be called Finesse. I'm like, but that spells Vines, and I'm going to call him Vines.
You got to use the right letter there.
And then someone brings up, it's like, well, what about Idra and Idra? Hey, nerd, shut your mouth. I'm Artosis. I'll do whatever the hell I want to do. Okay? I read words how I read them. You read them how you read them. Reality is just a construct within our own minds, okay? And I'll have whatever reality I want.
There you go.
Jeez.
Perfect.
Oh, my God.
There is a big looming problem for these two in this match. No matter who wins, they got to go up against stats. Now, I would say aLive is going to have a very tough time against stats because I just do not see aLive playing at the same caliber as somebody like TY. At the same time, though, for ByuL, he had a little bit of an odd series up ahead, up against stats as well. He Baneling busted once and it worked, and then he Baneling busted, but not as well as like a high-ranking Chinese player on the Korea server would, and and
it's true.
It didn't work.
That's what we were talking about.
None of those guys that all in every game.
Oh my God,
they're the greatest all-inners of all time.
Yeah, they are fantastic at Baneling busts. I tell you what. They will not miss an inject. They will not miss an overlord.
Yeah.
All overlords will be near your base because that's where the rally point is. But,
They've played this 3-minute song a million times.
Yep.
They hit every note. They know every chord.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah. I forget, man. There was a long time ago. this player in Eastern Europe, and all the Protoss players knew who he was, and I think he was from like Bulgaria or something, and it was like Zerg versus Protoss. He just knew every single perfect all-in,
Yeah.
and he had like all 16 of them down completely pat, and it was like everybody I knew was like, I hate that guy. I'm better than him, but I cannot stop. He does the all-ins
Gosh.
perfectly. It was like,
I wish I could help you with this, but it's the wrong matchup for me to have a great memory of who this might be.
and
I don't think
can't
it was a
remember his name.
Bulgarian because it was almost only Terrans from Bulgaria.
There was one Zerg player who was good. It might not have been Bulgaria, but it was one of the Eastern European countries.
Oh, a Bulgarian Zerg?
Yeah.
Was it Technics?
Yeah, that's the guy.
Yeah.
He just
Well, he was the
all-in-
only Bulgarian
He was
Zerg.
but he was he had the all-ins, every single all-in like perfectly mapped out.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, his ZVT was not nearly as good.
Yeah, well you can't do the same kind of
Yeah, no, it's a
same
very
kind of
different
shenanigans. So we got Scouting Overlord coming in here now, getting a glimpse into what exactly aLive is up to so far. He does see the pickup there with the medevacs.
matchup. Yeah, quality scout seeing 3
Yeah.
Hellions going to that medevac. 1 Hellion left over at home. Kind of interesting. Roach Warren is just now finishing up, some additional Lings being added as well.
We'll see how much damage this medevac can do. There is the Liberator as the follow-up tech here. The 2 Queens are in position. One does go back for a larva inject, not denying some of that additional damage on the not the mothership. What am I talking about? The medevac. Whoa.
The mothership. Oh my god, it vortex right out of there. Makes it really fast.
Well, now without the mothership, you can't make pylon cannons.
Oh man.
Stim is being upgraded here as he now has about 5 or 6 Hellions, and they're going to be turned into Hellbats. Well, beat me to it. Going to be turned into Hellbats right there at the entrance.
Roach is being added. Oh, I like this. Dropping a couple
this
Hellbats
is
towards
cute.
the main base while the other ones go elsewhere.
Actually damaging some of those Lings and then looping back around and coming over here to this third.
All right.
I like the
creep
idea of that.
is almost far enough for this, and with these Roaches, I don't think he's going to lose the hatch or anything. He's just trying to draw everything out of position so he can get some damage done with the main drop.
Okay, now that is very low on HP. If he loses that medevac, it'd be bad, but it looks like instead, focusing down those 2 Hellions, or Hellbats.
Wow, this was great defense so far from ByuL.
Yeah.
aLive is just really not finding the damage he's looking for. But he's not done trying anyways. Sieges up that Liberator.
Back at home for Terran, he's continuing to build up, but there does look like there's going to be a bit of an assault over here at the entrance of aLive's base. They have a few, I believe 4 Ravagers now being produced. Just now finishing, actually, that are going to come up here. And look at this, the Hellions can't get back over there. No way they can march through that much damage. And now the SCVs have been pulled up. ByuL showing us he knows how to play that early aggro Zerg style, punishing whether it's Protoss or Terran in this game. And within the small window of a tech switch, right as the barracks explosion was finishing, this amount of damage coming in here could be crippling, if not game-ending here, with aLive having to tap out. There it is, GG ByuL. Sick. That was really nicely done.
Dude, I wonder about this. Hold on a second.
ByuL, don't even go to mid-game. Don't even do it.
No, I think he should play all aggressive tonight. I think you're definitely right about that. With the current map pool and just kind of like, even looking at his strengths, he's very good at all-ins and stuff, generally speaking, or just aggressive early plays. The thing is, he's a fantastic macro player as well. But I want to talk about aLive for a moment.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I watch a lot of his games in online cups, and he looks like one of the best players in the world in these online cups. Like every single week, he looks just great. He goes really close to even against all the top guys, right? And then I'm watching him in GSL so far. I was not impressed when he played Classic. I was not impressed when he played Myungchik. To be honest, Scarlet threw the series kind of. Like, she had him. She had him dead. Okay, here he is playing now. Okay, I don't want to be too harsh about the TY game. I think he played all right there. But I'm looking here. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, this isn't the aLive that we're seeing in other places. Does he have some sort of issue now playing on stage?
I want to talk about that, but let's go ahead and jump into this game first and intro our players. aLive needs to win this game and the next. In order to go up against Stats, ByuL is just 1 win away from going to our final best of 5, best of 3, best of 1, best of... I'm an android. In the upper right, in the blue.
Yo.
That's when I just break down. I'm like, this is the GSL, GSL, GSL,
We just hear fire break out.
Someone spilled water on the tasteless pot in the bottom left.
aLive.
So you were talking about aLive does look like one of the best players. When you see him in these online cups, he's kicking ass. He seems to be really ahead of the curve. But here's the thing, Artos, we've seen aLive in a lot of the different iterations of StarCraft really dominant early on.
Yes.
And he's got his own way of doing it.
And he even said that during the round of 16, too. He's like, if I play the first group, I feel like I have a slight advantage.
Yeah.
Because it's less time to practice.
But here's the other problem is that he has a lot of his games out there, and I feel like aLive has never been the player that is playing the perfect way.
Yes.
In any iteration. He sees the game in a very intelligent way.
Yes.
He sees these tools hidden within the unit movement, the tech of Terran, the shape of the map.
Yeah.
He sees these tools that he can exploit, ways he can get ahead, but it's not like a Rain, it's not like an early day MVP, it's not like a Dark. It's not perfect. And I think what happens is, even though he has these cool tricks that beat a lot of good players, every passing day the game is out. The other players are learning, they're adapting, they're figuring out the game a little bit more. Maybe it's a quarter of a point of a 0.001% more, but it seems like his strategies and his play styles start to have diminishing returns as other pro gamers are also playing. He's really good at learning early on, but it does not sustain. And a lot of times he has to switch back.
It's like you're inside my brain and organizing my thoughts and making them better and then saying them out loud. Like, this is, I could not say yes harder if you were like, do you want $1 million right now for free? Okay? Like, what you just said, I think, is so accurate about his style overall, and we do see him peak in new iterations and when things change. And he even, again, he said during his round of 16, which I thought was really interesting, that the less practice time, he knew new maps were coming out, stuff like that, the less practice time, the better chance he might have. That he feels like he has slight advantages there, and I think that's true. Like, at the beginning of Legacy of the Void, he was a killer as well, let's not forget, right? And, I mean, he is doing well in these online cups and stuff. I don't know. I just agree with you so much, Tasteless.
Well, I feel like for him in this game, man, it's going to be tough. Like, let's say that aLive barely once again gets out of this group. What in the hell is a round of 8 going to look like for this guy? Because it seems like he is clinging on to dear life in GSL, even though he's advancing.
He's a really good player, but you take a random sampling of 7 other players in this round, and I don't think that he has even 40% to get past a best of 5 against a random player, right? Like, maybe against a Keen or a Bunny or, some of these guys who are coming up right now.
Yeah.
Or Keen, who's actually got kind of the same story he does. But, like, you put him against SOS, Maru, TY, Stats,
it's
Innovation,
just hard to imagine.
Dark. It's like I could not fathom if someone's training for 2 weeks to beat him in a best of 5 that he wins that.
Well, aLive might be one of the few players I feel like is much stronger in a group phase than he ever is in a individual best of 5. Mm-hmm. That might be why in some online tournaments he does really well. He's kind of good at all the different matchups. Yeah, he's got a solid approach, but like I think if you study him,
it's like the players that were good at traveling to events versus playing in GSL.
Yeah.
Where it's like, like you're very good, give you a rapid succession of matches. Not as much time to prepare. You can't be as prepared for everything. You're stronger in that situation. You know what? Let's never even talk about this game. Let's just talk about something else now. Let's just never even say anything that's going on the screen, okay? Because I feel we've passed the point where people are getting angry. So I just want to make them as angry as possible and just be like, you know what? Let's talk about our favorite Terran versus Protoss
Can you say
maps.
the alphabet backwards, Artos? Just let's see how far you go. Someone's expansion's getting blown up. Like, we're typing out GG.
Oh, man. We just never, say that there's a match going on. Someone wins and someone loses. And, we're just like, all right, we're going to a commercial break. When we come back, whoever won that match versus Stats.
Yeah, we were on a bit of a tangent, really, going deep.
No, that's the most fun thing to do anyways. I love talking like that,
Yeah.
It's kind of fully theory crafting. Forget StarCraft. It's all about theory craft. My guys in the chat know all about that, man.
Oh, they know, yeah. They're GM with all 3 races, except that they just never had enough time to play.
Yeah. Would have been, though. It's not that hard.
I basically understand the game as well as the pro gamers. Yeah. Well, Oh, guy on Reddit. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
So we have a Raven coming out here now. This has been very trendy, especially in recent StarCraft 2.
Yeah.
Coming out with the double Raven poke, hitting from 2 sides. And we have the Hellions now going to go in here to the third, so he's actually going to be hitting from 3 different locations, but not before damaging the Evolution Chamber.
Getting a few drones right there.
Yeah,
and
here it is.
Turret at that third base doing some serious work.
Dude, aLive.
Wow.
Whoa.
Sick. What happened early in this game that he was allowed to get 11 drones right now? Oh, man.
He had another Raven at the top. Am I crazy? He had both Ravens.
You're crazy, but he did, I think.
On both.
Yeah. Well, this is really
I thought he was going to drop auto turrets up there, too, though.
Super teched out. He's got his double E-bays going. A nice little defense at home. Thing is, it is Daybreak. Let's not forget, right? So this is kind of a big map, and even if you get some of this good early damage against ByuL, he's going to be able to relatively easily get 4 to 5 bases before you actually have any chance to really finish him off, unless it super snowballs. And then the creep is kind of everywhere, and then it gets hard, right? You got to keep up your macro, you got to keep up your micro, and can aLive do one of these sustained pushes against ByuL, who's fantastic mechanically?
That Raven's still coming around here.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the Queen goes down. That's cute.
Auto turrets.
This is fun. Did you see this? Yeah, the auto turret play. I like this.
I wish Mothership cores had auto turrets.
Yeah.
Someone get on that.
What Ravens really need to do is be able to recall back to the command center, though.
Imagine
recall the whole army. You just drop there, unload, stim, and fire, and like the mutas are like hitting the medevacs at a certain angle. It's like, it's okay, recall. Whoosh.
Yeah.
Comes back and kills the lings that are hitting your SCVs. Zerg just leaves the game. Zerg's like, I'm quitting this game.
Yeah. Oh, man. Those auto turrets continue to do damage. Some lings running around and trying to get something done near that third base.
Okay, this is something.
Yeah.
Definitely doing a little bit of damage here. We're at the point where ByuL is almost to where he has like a substantial army. You know, can do like some damage, start to push out on the map here. Usually,
yeah, like he has enough to secure the fourth.
From like 8 to 6 or 8 to 5 minutes. I don't know exactly what it is because I don't normally look at the clock the whole game, but usually that's where Terran is kind of just beating up on Zerg. But don't do the Banelings on there. But do kill it. You know, you got to do something there.
Look,
you got to make a choice here.
I want you to kill that, but not with the units that are near.
I feel like I'm standing behind one of my friends who's never played the game before, and I'm like yelling him to do stuff. I'm like, no, go back and kill it. Just don't use the Banelings, okay?
Yeah.
Jeez, man.
Don't nuke the drop in your base. What are you doing?
That's the easiest way to get somebody pretty much turned up to StarCraft the first time. People are like, well, I'll play, but you just like tell me what to do. And then I'm sitting there screaming at them the entire time. Like, no, go back over there. No, make this. What do you mean where? Make it. Just do it. There's no more time. This is StarCraft.
Don't you get it? Oh, my God.
God damn it. All right, you probably lost. Yeah. No, don't cry. Okay? No crying. This is StarCraft.
Muta's hitting this main base right now. Taking down that turret. Doesn't look like they're going to get too much done.
Oh, he's going to go for an interception.
Yeah, not quite.
And, quite?
No, not quite.
Oh, sorry.
I already told you.
Sorry, I'm hard of hearing there. Okay, the Mutas actually get out. Kind of a risky way to get out there. Going through everything.
TY is the only real interceptor.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he finally takes down the
Raven. And that's why they need recall, guys.
Yeah.
So
that doesn't seem fair.
That doesn't seem fair, right? I mean, how are you supposed to keep your Raven alive if you leave it in the middle of the map? Can someone explain it to me? Hold on, I'm going to go on Battle.net forums and just post about this. Blizzard's got some answering to do. I got to get these guys on my speed dial right now.
Oh, man.
Hitting that turret, it does go down. A few Marines here also hitting this as well.
Oh, the auto turret kills yet another Queen over there. ByuL's starting to get a little bit of harassment done. Does have the fourth base up in his 2-2 finishing as well as that +1. His creep spread is lacking a little bit. You know, there has been so much harassment on him in this early game that's the real issue here, I feel like. If he had creep spread already on both the high grounds outside his fourth, I'd feel like 100% he's in a great spot. But this is...
Oh, my God. Wait. He lost a decent number of... Oh, now we're missing this battle, too. We're missing battles all over the place.
Yeah, this is a little bit hard. He doesn't see this coming to the last second, and a lot of those Banes being taken out.
Some Lings counterattacking over here into the main. Looks like there should be enough to handle that. I think aLive might just have too much of a strong push coming up here. It doesn't seem like Zerg has all the pieces necessary to take on an army with this many medevacs healing, especially when the Marines and Marauders are being kited so well.
Some pretty decent corrosive ByuLs come down, but that is not enough to erase this army. The Muta's coming back home to help battle as well.
We think we had a Widowmine connection over there. He's going to unload right here with the rest of this army. The Banelings coming in but do not connect properly.
Oh, a huge amount of reinforcements are here, pushing down the ramp. Banelings morphing, 32 more Lings on the way. It is not enough, though. The fourth base going to fall.
ByuL in some trouble right now. We have more Banelings morphing to the right, but the Muta's already being thinned out. I think this may be the point of no return, as aLive is just looking too solid. A lot of those Banelings connecting on the Marauder. And I think with a reinforcing army, this will slowly snowball into a Terran win.
Yeah, it definitely should. Like, I mean, the fact that 3-3 is almost done, even if ByuL killed off this army, it's not really going to matter. aLive has the same economy as him, and he's going to have better upgrades. There's just not a lot left over for ByuL.
As you can see, aLive coming through here now on the right side, doing so much damage. Every fight, it seems like ByuL just does not quite have enough, is never able to amass that, and as every following expansion is stamped out, it should be the beginning of the end. It looks like, wow, okay, barely he actually drives that out.
But even though he drives it out, right, he's sitting here on 3 bases with 2-2. 3-3 is just about to finish.
With Terran's 4 bases.
aLive's macro is really hitting its stride here. Like, they have the same supply right now, but watch this. It's about to go way up for Terran. Another couple of rounds of bio units and 3-3 finishing. That's like one of the hardest parts for Zerg, even if they're up a base. And that's not the case here.
Terran are always going to get their damage off in the initial second or two of the fight, and having that many upgrades, and just mowing down a few of the Zerg units.
How quickly Marines fire?
Spiral out of control.
Have you ever seen a Marine fire tasteless? It's so fast.
Whenever I play the game, I close my eyes when I hear them shooting. That's why I've never won a game in my life. Same thing when I hear Banelings going off, I take my hands off the keyboard and mouse and cover my ears because I'm afraid of the explosions are going to hurt my little dainty ears.
Oh, that's probably hitting everything I have that I can't even see.
At least I still have my eardrums.
Oh my. Okay, ByuL trying to expand right now, flying his mutas around, trying to keep aLive busy, but that is just not going to last for very long. He's defending, like, aLive is just kind of crossing his T's right now, making turrets, bunkers, stuff like that, just to secure his economy, and then the push is going to come, and there is no way off of creep that ByuL is going to have any chance of holding on against this massive Terran army.
It's pretty commendable, though, that he actually has managed to try to reclaim even the 5th base in the bottom right. Like, ByuL is a real survivor. By the way, he's actually keeping up in supply. Let's see how this attack goes here for aLive. Let's actually, I think it's going to be tough for ByuL, but I got to say, he's doing a pretty decent job. Well, until that happened. But ByuL's doing a pretty damn impressive job of keeping Terran at bay.
Yeah, considering what a gross position he's been in, like, his creep has never really gotten beyond what we see right now. That is not enough to really defend against pushes like this coming down from high ground. There's like widow mines up there and stuff. Oh my god. Oh god.
Ouch. Possibly the one thing that really can't afford to have too much damage and still sustain itself in a fight. Marauder's still in the front. A lot of Banelings. I just don't know if they're going to connect properly.
Yeah. He's done some good Mutalisk micro here to pick off some of these Marauders to make it a bit easier on the Banes. But I mean, this is a lot of 3-3 bio. I do not think ByuL can hold this.
Here we go! Coming down! And I gotta say, man, ByuL is damn good.
That is
I think
true.
this is really the moment where you got to be like, wow, this guy is amazing.
Yeah, ByuL is amazing.
That's so impressive that he was that behind. I think anybody else would have been taken out, but the patience to get that many, near comical amount of Banelings to engage that.
It is true, but if you look at any other top Terran, like that split was not on par with top Terran, like top professional Terran play at all.
Oh,
like,
Artosis.
we didn't see really much splitting there.
How could you be so mean to him? Artosis is basically like, you know what, that split was basically poopy pants, guys.
That was a poopy pants split.
Yeah, I actually can't disagree with you.
There's no question that was a poopy pants split. And, like, I mean, if ByuL would have killed ByuL a long time ago, Innovation would have killed ByuL a long time ago, Mar would have killed ByuL a long time ago. Like, aLive has all the tools and all the advantages to take this game down, but, like, he's attacking with this bio, and it's... ByuL is just like, I don't know, man. He's just connecting with banelings so well.
I like that he's keeping those mutas over there to try to hit the medevacs as they're arcing around that area.
Yeah, that's a really smart move.
Wow, this got a lot of damage. 11 workers killed.
But he didn't split those Marines either.
It's kind of funny. He hasn't flown the mutas back yet. He's still using those to try to keep the Terran at bay.
Yeah.
Which is really... ByuL's having to do a lot of heavy lifting back at home, but in some ways I like this.
Yeah, no, I do like it because like it's almost like a risk he has to take.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I shouldn't win this game, but if I keep getting baneling connects like that, my mutas are out on the map, like keeping aLive back so I can actually get my macro going, it can work.
Yeah.
Like, look, he's getting Burrow and he's going Infestation Pit. These are like good comeback mechanics for him.
Now again, if it works the first time, why wouldn't you try it twice?
Because shame on me.
That's right. The medevac's actually going to fly back around here. Both players on even bases. The only non-occupied expansions is in the center north and the center south. But ByuL really showing us how you can survive in a ZVT.
Yeah.
It's not the perfect way to play. If he was ahead, he would be actually shutting down these medevacs, but he's trying to keep that big army that could push him at bay. And not bad. You know, some of these banelings could connect with those Marines over there.
Yeah.
He's actually getting in front so that these glaives really spread and the mutas don't even have to move. Dude, ByuL, you're so good at the game.
Look at, he pulls everything back, so he kills Marauders with his mutas. A little bit of sloppiness there at the very end, but like I feel like ByuL is showing a different level of play than aLive. Like aLive did some very good moves to get into a position where he had an advantage.
Yeah.
But watching ByuL crawl his way back into this game, I feel like he's, you know, the Monty Python knight that loses all his limbs.
Yeah.
Tis but a scratch. I feel like that's what we're watching from ByuL here, except that limbless. You know, Monty Python knight character is maybe going to be able to take the game.
Yeah, he might actually bite the nose off of the other knight and win the fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so the push is starting up. Note the position here of the Marauders, which effectively did soak the baneling hits. Let's see how this one corrosive bile does.
Hey, we did all right.
It hit.
Yeah, hit some units.
Now,
corrosive it hits is cool.
Terran finally stabilized the point where he can push this location. I think a little bit of indecisiveness there. Some of the banelings coming forward. Looks like he wants to keep the Marines spreading and kiting out. Now there's only one more Marauder in this group.
All right, let's see. A little bit better spreading going on.
Okay, that might have been the fight that won the game. He just split up nicely enough. And these banelings, it's like 1 to 2 banelings hitting 1 to 2 Marines. I believe that's it. But I said that last time, and then ByuL hung on. So let's see if he can do it again.
If he can wipe the set of Marines, 27 mutas is no laughing matter.
Yeah, that's true. Especially if you just have enough underneath them.
Yeah.
Buy some time. Sometimes those glaives will just tear everything up.
If he can just force these Marines back or kill these Marines off and, like, get on the map again with these, he can get some damage done. But it just, I think aLive, he's starting to split. He's starting to, like, you know, hit his stride as far as Terran attacks go.
Yeah. Well, some baneling landmines could upend the game too. Let's not forget that. I mean, if they hit these Marines and just get to the right angle, oh my God. Is this going to be it? Is ByuL watching?
Oh,
you'll never know. Yeah, I guess he had to detonate on something.
Yeah, he has to try something there at least.
Okay, look at the spread here from aLive. This is beautiful.
Kind of interesting where those banelings are. He's got to keep this base alive. Losing that 4th base, he has to keep the 5th up. It's like all he's mining from.
A few other Marines pushing up through the top. These mutas make quick work out of that. Completely cleaning that up. And then they're going to head southbound. Again, the Marauders over here in the front. That's why you need these mutas here. You want to shave down those Marauders. You don't want to have the banelings hit them. So he's using some of those lanes as the Marines are a little bit further back.
He's picked off most of the Marauders, which are going to allow the banelings to do a bit better.
Let's also keep in mind, guys, if aLive pushes out and eventually this army's smashed and he has to go back, Terran will mine out before Zerg.
That's true.
I don't know if we're going to get there, but I need to put a little disclaimer here.
Well, we need another baneling connection like we saw before where aLive kind of didn't split. If he gets another one of those, we could get to that situation. But right now I'm looking at this, and ByuL just doesn't have very much, man.
We see the Marines coming up now. starting to shave off those mutas. The mutas have to stay in high numbers, and the banelings have to connect perfectly if this game's going to go on. I mean, ByuL is like the ultimate survivor. It's pretty insane.
Yeah. Okay, it's going to hit this 5th base again. I think it's going to go down for sure this time. No time to actually get back there and save the hatch.
Well, he did a good job with the mutas keeping them out on the map so that Terran had a hard time pushing forward, but eventually the mutas have to be part of the defense. Good gunning down of that.
Yeah.
That medevac. Also, Zerg has no mining bases. He has to basically take this fight right here, right now. We need to see a drone go back and make a hatch.
Look at the income of ByuL. It's like non-existent. He's even pulled his drones at this point. They're not even holding gas, so they're not scary even. And that is going to be that tasteless.
And that'll bring us into game number 3.
Yeah.
As aLive has tied this up 1-1. Right? All right, there we go. GG.
Okay. aLive played very well early and then kind of like limped over the finish line there, I feel like. You know, he got that early damage in, he had the big advantage, and kind of allowed ByuL to crawl back in. Again, if you look at top of the world Terrans, I think pretty much everyone finishes ByuL off a lot quicker this game. And I don't want to be like, look, if you win, you win. And I don't want to be picky about when you finish him off, but ByuL almost got back into it because there was, you know, just some lack in micro there.
I wonder what exactly the mindset is right now of aLive, because even though he won that last game, it's got to be pretty discouraging. We're in the losers match, right? He has to beat ByuL, who like hung on almost no matter what. That's exactly why ByuL is in this seat in our studio, and you guys at home are in your seat in your computer chair watching, is because he's that good. Nobody else can really do that like ByuL did in that game. Even though he lost, he was able to hang on for a long time. Can he actually win here? Is ByuL going to avoid late game and try to be aggressive? That's how he's been winning so far. And is aLive going to survive this? He's barely survived in previous groups. Can he do it here tonight? Let's find out. In the bottom right, in the blue.
ByuL.
In the bottom left, in the red.
aLive.
Alrighty. Let's see what ByuL does to try to not take too much damage in this early game. Because I feel like if he does get in that longer macro game, he gets really, really strong, man. His mechanics are fantastic.
aLive has become, at least for me personally, a much more interesting character this season of GSL than ever before.
I agree with that.
In part because of some of his past, right? Because he's, you know, we've kind of, now that we're in like the 3rd expansion set here of StarCraft 2, after all these different iterations, we've seen this pattern with him, and he looks like he's a better version than he was in those previous expansions. It's the same style, but he seems to have really improved on, you know, what he is. And I do want to also say, because I hate it when people say otherwise, but I think you do have to balance the fact that there's a right way to play StarCraft and also your way to play StarCraft.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's important to express yourself through StarCraft and like play at your pace and your type of game. But like,
but you
for
have
instance,
to,
if you all in every game because you really love to rush, you're not winning GSL. That's not happening. It is. I'm sorry, that's the way you like to play, but you need a bigger range than that.
Yeah. You look back on 2 Protoss players a while ago, and it's like you get SOS and Rain, who are both dominating, did not even look like the same player.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even the 3 top Terrans we have, Innovation, Mario, and TY, they really do look different when you watch them play. They have their own strengths and weaknesses, but at the same time, all those players will follow a certain set of parameters that you have to do. You have to respect, not just with an RTS, but with your respective race and your respective matchup on whatever specific map you're on.
So very true. It's like, even someone like Myungshik you look at, right? He has such his own style, but every now and then he'll just bust out a macro game and you're like, oh, that was good. Yeah. Remember Shine, our observer?
Sure, of course.
Last time he played like Flash or something and he beat him in a macro game and we were like, what? This guy only cheeses. But it's like, oh, you know, these are important things to have if you want to be a really successful StarCraft player. You can't just play your way. You have to have more than that so that, you know, your opponent can't just crush the thing he knows you do.
And that's, I think, why StarCraft is such a great game, is when you get to the highest levels, you do have to have a complex understanding of the game, the matchups, be able to think on your feet, and a lot of times also be able to execute a build that's been rehearsed perfectly.
Yeah. That's why I have always, for my whole career, gotten confused when I see players that actually just like all in every single game on the ladder. And
it doesn't make any sense.
The thing is, they'll be ranked like reasonably high, but it's like you realize you're just not going to move from here.
There must be something in a player's mind. There must be something in a player's mind where it's like, well, you just don't want to play a long game or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, or you're like addicted to this fast win. Because sometimes when you do an all in, you just smash somebody, and other times it's close.
Yeah,
I don't know. There are people on ladder who just only all in, and it's a little bit weird.
Yeah. Well, whatever it may be, you gotta show a lot of range, and definitely ByuL is a player that does that. This Ro.16 is coming up rather quickly. Has his third base on the way already as well.
Overlord did get onto that high ground there. We'll see if that's shot down later on if Terran continues pressure. Hellions and Marines now going back into a defensive formation. Over on the Terran side of the map, he's just getting more barracks. He's getting his stim. And basically setting up. Those barracks were a little bit later because Terran went for that third command center beforehand, really doing the macro play.
Oh my god, this scan, that was some really good observing to hold it there for the entire time. There's 10 roaches on the way. That scan gave him no information.
Yeah.
There's already a decent amount of speedlings out as well. So this could be deadly. There is a single bunker on the way, so he might be like, oh, this is a little bit weird. But with this, I mean, he's got a quick third command, so if he can hold this as it comes in, that's really fantastic.
I think the question will be, can he get the Hellbats, or Hellions rather? The Lings might be able to intercept and slow him down.
Yeah, the Lings, are they going to set up a flank? No, they're actually just running away right now.
I guess it'd probably be wiser. Okay, he's getting the Ravagers, so I think this bunker is toast.
Yeah, and he's droning behind this as well, by the way, so this is not a 100% all-in type of play, but he is going to get something out of this, like bust some of this up, maybe get some SCVs. Definitely, those eBays should not be upgrading right now, so he can get ahead on upgrades.
Yeah, that might be one of the better plays, just to get that upgrade advantage. These Evos just now finishing as these eBays may be under attack here. We don't see SCVs pulled just yet, but with this number of bunkers, you got to wonder if any Zerg would ever decide that it was a wise decision to try to push into this.
I think he just bombs them over and over and over.
The Lings are actually getting a good surround there on those Hellions. I think they were actually all... Nope, only 2 Hellions are remaining here. This is smart to get these eBays here.
Yeah, this is it's cool because with 1-1 on the way, and the thing is he's keeping all the pressure off of him. You've got to keep all your units at home. And it's not like these units are going to be completely useless. The thing is he did have to skip a lot of drones to make this many units, and that's always quite a balancing act for a Zerg. But, I mean, there were some cool things about this push.
Let's keep the camera on this thing.
Yeah.
How does it all end?
On creep.
On creep. They go down. So, Hellion taken out now. Zerg restabilizing. When you do that rush with Zerg, it's cool because you take out some structures, but yeah, you're not killing SCVs. Terran is sacking that at that point in time.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, not just killing the SCVs, but forcing them to be pulled to heal the bunkers and other structures is huge. So I think aLive really approached that with a deep understanding of how to handle it.
And he made all the bunkers. Obviously, you can go ahead and salvage them afterwards, but that slows everything down, all of his other production. He's got to spend 400 minerals right there. He's just sitting back. Again, has he done any harassment really this game? Not really.
So aLive, a modest push out, trying to acquire that third base while still massing up. Supplies 120 to 86 with Zerg in the lead. And 4 bases, so I think ByuL's in okay shape.
Yeah.
I think he's handled this just fine.
I kind of like it with the Spire on the way and the fact that he's got his upgrades going pretty well. And obviously the creep spread is going to be a lot better this game, which is so important. Third base is being taken right now by aLive, though, so he's marching towards his own stuff here. He's got his 1-1. It's not that far behind considering lost 2 eBays.
Yeah.
So that's good. He's very quick to remake those.
And Terran is going to test the waters now. As he should. He's got some medevacs. He has enough to defend his third base. But ByuL's been pretty good about having spotters everywhere on the map. Even the tank's pretty well positioned here. Looks like he had one on the high ground, one on the low ground. Keep him far back enough. Since there were Ravagers earlier, you don't want them to come out and try to pick off those Ravagers. Or rather, pick off those tanks with the Ravagers.
like, look at that vision, like you mentioned, actually.
For ByuL?
Yeah, if you look at the mini-map, guys, like, just look where there's not purple, right? And you see all these blue dots. That's the impressive stuff. Like, creep spread, yeah, okay, everyone creep spreads. That's good. You can see things that are on creep, yes. I know that. But, like, just the fact that he has a really good spread up to the top, down to the bottom. Like, he sees absolutely everything incoming. And with 12 mutas on the way, Baneling speed about to finish, this is pretty cool for ByuL.
Medivacs may continue to push towards the main. It doesn't seem like there's very much, at least yet. The mutas, though, hatching. Oh, wow, that was well-timed. And now these Medivacs have to back off. Once mutas are out, you have to respect them on the map. I mean, if you're flying around with your entire army in Medivacs, you can lose that so easily. And in fact, these mutas might be able to take out some of these Medivacs right now, as aLive maybe overstayed his welcome on the map. Nicely done.
And gets one of those off. And, of course, with the vision everywhere, sees these Medivacs coming a mile away.
Look at our macro god ByuL here.
I know,
He's
right?
about to be maxed out. He just has to hatch an Overlord or two. Terran's almost to 150, and he's shutting down all these drops everywhere. I don't know how aLive is going to be in good shape later on. This is going to run out of that boost.
Well, especially after the game we just saw, right, where even if he's behind, ByuL is doing a good job of staying in the game. But here he's not behind. He's in a great spot. His 2-2 is finishing up, +2 armor just now starting for aLive. I don't even know what aLive is supposed to do to win this game. He needs like perfect macro and micro coming up here. And the thing is, the creep is out far enough. I don't think you can possibly avoid the amount of banelings he's going to have.
aLive seems like the guy that's really good with his own style, like we've been talking about. And sometimes he beats even the very, very best of the best. But I don't know if he can just dominate any groups. He's barely staying on board here in GSL this whole season.
He's got his water wings on, and that's keeping him from going under.
Yeah, but he's been dropped in the ocean is the problem.
Yeah, and like these are sharks or dolphins. We're not exactly sure.
We have nice little connection.
Bill would be a shark, and I think the stats would be a dolphin probably.
I would agree.
And TY would be like an amphibious lion.
Yeah, a kraken.
Right? He's like the king of the jungle that lives in the ocean.
An amphibious lion.
Yeah, he's like a lion with gills.
Yeah. His mane really slows him down. Okay, well, if you look at the income, clearly ByuL with a lot of money and minerals and gas banked up. Creep is continuing to move on the map. aLive does have a decent army, something you got to really give a nod to, but he's just not growing at the same rate, and it almost seems like ByuL's taking out bits and pieces of aLive all over the place.
You know what that I do like here? He's getting vehicle weapons, adding in Thor, has a couple sea chinks here, but more importantly, he's getting drilling claws, right? So his mines are going to like basically just slip underground anytime he wants them to. So this is going to allow him to really micro those Widow Mines a little bit better.
Yeah.
Where, like, for instance, if ByuL starts running up, because Zergs have their little styles where they run in a few Banes or Lings to try to set up the mines, but and then if you unburrow them, sometimes they run in and attack you right then. Just burrow them again instantly. So this, I kind of like the way that he's trying to recover here. He's really going for late game right now.
Look at just how well the mutas have served ByuL. You can continue to see that the armies of Terran has been back. The creep is continuing to move forward. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite indeed. Like, this, here's what could happen here for aLive to win this game, because he's slowing this down so much. There's just mass turrets on the way, Widow Mines, Liberators, upgrades. That's like him really giving a nod towards the fact that he absolutely cannot kill ByuL. So if ByuL gets wasteful here, there is a possibility aLive can win this.
It's true.
Sometimes the Zerg will just bash his head against the wall against something like this. It happens sometimes.
It's easier to do than you would think as well. When you're like in a super good spot and you maybe don't quite have the patience, you just attack in, trade horribly. And especially for somebody who's behind, that's really what they need you to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're looking for bad trades at a point like that when you're behind in this type of way. But ByuL is getting, like, every upgrade. One of the things that, like, again, big fan of how aLive is approaching this, but ByuL historically has been one of the best Zerg players against turtley Terrans. Like, in the past, he was the best against, for instance, mech players in Heart of the Swarm. Just second to none. He came closer to anyone to taking them down. So I feel like he's not going to bash his head against the wall and throw away too much. We'll see, I guess.
Units come down for a second. Chitinous plating's now done. We're getting deep into the late game here, guys.
Yeah, 3-3. Finishing up.
Makes sense. It's just one win or one loss, and that decides, where you are going to be in the GSL Code S. And they need everything they've got. Right now, the best ZVT or TVZ in the world, but these guys know they're showing it to you.
Yeah, that's very, very true.
My God.
Yeah, look at that.
And look at the bait there because it's by a sensor tower.
Yeah.
Oh, aLive.
Clever.
You're so
I love
good.
his moves like this.
Yeah.
He does stuff like this all the time, which, it's a very stylistic thing, and we were a little bit harsh about parts of his style, but not this part. This is a beautiful thing that very few Terrans really do.
Coming forward now, Blinding Clouds going down. Banelings continue to spill ahead. The Mute is now coming over here. The Ravagers are in the back, but the Terran army is wiping this all out once again. No muscle left for Zerg as the Mutas head north.
Well, 11 Ultras is a follow-up. These are 3-3 with chitinous plating, so those are some pretty nasty upgrades, but 5 Ghosts on the way, plus 2 air weapons, and quite a few Liberators on the map. I don't know, man. Maybe aLive can do this.
He's taking out that center expansion. Muta's now coming around to try to grab these Liberators, which are forking out throughout the map to try to engage any of these mining drones.
Well, he's going to clean up a couple of those, and please believe me when I say that the Liberators are important against these 11 Ultras coming out. He needs a lot of damage. Liberator range just now being started. More and more Ghosts on the way. I'm starting to get a few nerd chills here, Tasis, with just how smart aLive is playing right now. This is he is just doing everything in his power to win this game.
Looks like he'll take out a few workers over here. Maybe the Roach Warren. Mute is now coming in. They do clean out the remainder of this. That Roach Warren actually 23 and gone. Not the most impactful thing to get the Roach Warren, but I guess you got to get whatever you can down there.
Some more Mutas being added in. Great upgrades for the Air Army as well on the way. Bane Ultra rolling up right now. Here are the Ghosts, though.
It's got to be careful. Those Ultras, not the most nimble units. They can take a lot of damage before they ever deal any.
Yeah. Okay, let's see if he can hit some of these snipes. Oh my God, some big snipes coming down right now.
No Queens here to transfuse either. Creep never pushed that far out.
Yeah, the creep is not as far as it once was. aLive did do a pretty good job before the Ultras of clearing some of that off. And now that he's starting to hit some of these snipes, this is some TY-esque play that we're seeing here.
It really is. I think aLive took that deficit and showed that he was a really patient player. And I think ByuL with that lead probably would have been more comfortable with the Terran pushing him the whole game and him crushing that army. But aLive definitely learned from the mistakes he made in the previous game.
Yeah, he's getting into the type of situation where ByuL can't quite kill him. So over time, you can just gain a lot of value with things like Snipe on the Ghost.
Yeah, sure. Terran also needs to be careful, though. aLive overextending too much here. That can become problematic as well. I don't know if we're going to see this base mined out, or the base is mined out here, but there's no shared mutual expansion in the middle of the map. There is nothing like that. So whoever sucked up the most minerals early on may be losing the game first because they may end up exhausting their mind.
It's so crazy when we see a game like that, but it does occur.
It is a rule in StarCraft. Also, note just how many minerals and gas are banked up right now for ByuL. ByuL could lose his whole army and basically remake it again.
This Liberator. Liberator's actually doing a pretty darn good job. Even killing a lot of those larvae off. I guess that probably doesn't matter very much right now.
You can see the Ultras coming in now. A few Lings come in. Not enough damage to take that Ultra out. Medivacs now picking up. Harpooned back over here. And it looks like the Mutas will be able to kill off the remainder of that. Meanwhile, a push downer at the bottom. This base basically exposed.
That is a lot of Widow Mines, a lot of Ghosts in here as well. This is a very important set of units for aLive. If this were to get wiped out very quickly, that would be a terrible loss.
And Zerg is moving out. Oh, great job harpooning those Ghosts in there. I love that.
Yeah.
That's really smart.
Really fantastic.
It's a great way to approach this. ByuL, gosh, really showing us why he was one of the leaders of Zerg.
Might be again here. These mines being repositioned. He's taken out this base, set up some liveries. Look at that. Look at this area with all these mines. Oh my God,
Ouch.
the Liberator just flies across.
Oh my God. Too much damage, perhaps.
Jeez, really efficient there for aLive. Dropping in the main base as well. Going to take out the spawning pool, maybe? No, not
looks
quite.
like he picks up. Doesn't want to lose everything on the ground over there. Going to go ahead and retreat behind these Widow Mines. There are just so many of them.
This is getting too crazy, Tastes. I cannot even believe that aLive is doing this right now.
Me too. It's really impressive. He's able, through sheer patience and organizational attacks, start to melt down all those advantages that ByuL had here. Now, ByuL's still sitting on a massive bank, but aLive pretty much has taken all the expansions he can, minus the one just down there where the rocks are.
And he's keeping his supply high enough that he's super hard to kill. Like, if you drop too low, you are in trouble. He doesn't have a big bank like ByuL has, but as long as he sits back with some turrets, planetaries, liberators, ghosts, that type of thing, some Widow Mines, ByuL just, how does he break through?
Another attack over here. ByuL almost out of minerals on the map at this point in time.
Yeah.
A few more drones are picked off. This knocks ByuL down to about 37 to the 50 here. We have an attack through here, but it's through. That's almost turning his army into a meat grinder. That army just cannot get up there to fully engage, and that's going to trigger aLive to be in pursuit.
This is really tough right now for ByuL. He still has those Ravagers from early on. Haven't seen any Infestors added. I do feel like Infestors are very important at this point in the game, because when the Ghosts go to snipe, you need to damage them to like reset it so that they don't actually snipe you. Some Zergs like to try to use Banelings to run in, but in these super defensive positions, I feel like sometimes you need a Fungal Growth as just instant cast, right, to put that damage down.
Oh, he may be behind enemy lines here. He actually got a really good EMP off, so there's not much that can be done if these are not in a good spot. He's going to try to take on the Liberators, but I think to some extent aLive would be fine with that. Does so much damage. Is he going to be able to trap these, though?
A lot of damage dealt, but he takes out the Liberators.
I actually thought it was going to do a little bit more than that, but here comes those snipes, gunning that down. Beautifully done. A dozen more mutas on the way. That drops ByuL's gas to about 400 here.
You know, he eliminated a lot of the Liberators, which is kind of like the super mobile chase muta down card here. And he's got 3-2 mutas. With this many mutas, he might be able to start really running aLive around, right? Like hit the main base, he comes to the main, okay, now fly somewhere else.
Mutas. Oh, hold up. Another drop over here. Kind of an odd point we're at in this game. Almost the entire map's been occupied, but there's been enough resources mined up where if anybody overextends too much, they're not going to have enough to mine more and necessarily remake everything they've had from earlier.
This is a wild game. By the way, this map has given us some amazing TVZs this season.
Oh,
Dark's match, Scarlet here against aLive, I believe it was, and now this match. These are just awesome, awesome TVZs. So entertaining. I am entertained.
Again, ByuL's been looking for an opening, and I don't know if aLive has to take it. ByuL sucked up more of the resources on his side of the map than aLive has. aLive just has to let ByuL over time throw away mutas, throw away ultras.
There's no question aLive is being more cost efficient right now.
Kill spellcasters.
Yeah.
And aLive will wait until his opponent's dried up, then expand to the bottom location. He may even be trying to see if ByuL will try to expand to the bottom left, making the push even easier for him. You can do this on maps, guys, like this when you're split in half.
Oh my God, these snipes. Just crazy, crazy snipes going down. Here he comes. He's going to try to get in here.
Ultras
a lot
coming
of Liberators there. Baneling's trying to get on top of everything. Some pretty good harpoons going down on these Liberators, unsieging them.
And as they spill in, it looks like ByuL may have overextended yet again. Ooh. He has a few ultras here, but I think the ultras are basically now, they're cleaned up now. It's just mutas. How many more times, oh my God, how many more times can he actually remake an army, Artosis? I don't think that many more times
now. Yeah, this is like it. His supply has dropped so much. They're actually like pretty even as far as supply goes. Maybe aLive with a slight advantage there. But don't forget, like you keep bringing up, aLive still has one base left on his side of the map. That is not,
exactly.
If ByuL can take that, it's because he's basically won the game.
These Widow Mines remain. No drones to mine with there, especially in a situation where ByuL is already it's pretty stark, his future.
Yeah.
It's pretty bleak.
The winter is coming.
Winter is coming. Now, this has allowed aLive to try to push up here, but is But is this actually coming up? I don't know. I believe that ByuL is eventually going to run out of gas, Artosis.
Yeah.
Look at ByuL's money go up, guys. The gas and the minerals.
Oh, this is really, really tough for him right now.
And I think we're going to have one Ultra go down, right? You should have a snipe here.
The Mutaglaives are doing a pretty good job of resetting anything, so the snipe's not quite going off right now, trying to pick those ghosts off. But as you run, that's one time where snipes definitely can reach in.
That's right, you can run, but you cannot hide here, ByuL. He takes out a few more workers there. I'm sorry, were those Widow Mines taken out down there?
I think they finally were just now.
Okay.
6 more drones died, so I think those probably were to the Widow Mines. Those 2 Widow Mines were just crazy. Yeah, this is just not a whole lot left.
This is something that Terran can do that's really strong, that's just really difficult for Zerg to properly deal with. It's like, okay, how do you actually manage a situation like this? It's really hard to push on top of Terran. Terran can kite for days, weeks, years.
You know, to play against this type of Ghost, Liberator, Turtley style from Terran,
yeah,
I don't feel like ByuL did it quite right here. You know, I gave him a lot of props about like how fantastic he was, for instance, against Mech in the past. This does play out a bit different. Like, if you watch like Dark or Nurchio or someone like that play against this, there's a little bit different flow to it. Like, some of these attacks where he just attacks into the planetary area where there's already Liberators set up, I feel like you've got to eke more with your spellcasters. Like, we need to see more Abducts, more, you know, we haven't seen a single Infestor this game. I mean, we're this late in the game and you're getting mined out. Spellcasters, they have a huge premium on them.
Yeah, it's true. Well, now aLive has this, and this may be the final chapter in our story of aLive versus ByuL, at least for now. I mean, for today's GSL. I mean, aLive may move on to that final match, but I think if aLive wins this, it's going to come down to the fact he has that base. He can mine up all the resources there.
Yeah.
They both have a decent number of workers, by the way, so it's not like they're not mining quickly from their bases. So as long as it takes to mine from an expansion, like right when you get it, they're doing the same thing over here. So they're eventually going to not have any more money if they don't attack each other. And I certainly would say that ByuL actually cannot attack aLive here.
Yeah, I don't like an attack in here at all. Like, that place that aLive is building is just, it's too well defended. What else can I say? Like, he's trying to do something with these mutas. I would have liked for him to hit the main a long time ago. Like, just try to whittle anything down.
I thought he should have done something like that. I guess he's too cautious because of the Widow Mines.
Yeah, maybe there's too many turrets there. We actually haven't seen the main in like 100 years. So,
oh my God, that might have been the worst misclick of your life. But he's going to try to attack it. Okay, Terran is ready. I believe aLive actually takes this.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. This is like his final attack, I think, for ByuL. He just doesn't actually like, running out of gas is a literal thing at this point.
A literal thing, tasteless.
A literal thing, tasteless.
That's right.
That's fantastic.
Look at this kiting. It's just too good. The Lynx can't get around. They're too beefy, the army is.
Yeah, the Baneling's just absolutely not connecting right now. ByuL does not look super happy. I like some. Oh, the Baneling's starting to come in. Oh, that Widow Mine. Great connection. Hey, what just happened?
Watch, he picks up and drops this expansion back over here. That's kind of wild. He actually managed to do that.
I don't have any idea what I'm talking about in StarCraft. This is... yeah, finally, Artosis. Yeah.
About time, Artosis. No, I mean, I actually did not think that was going to work.
I'm surprised that he was able to bust through that well. Like, aLive was a little bit too far out with his bio army overall, but that was admirably done. Thing is, that's still a lot of Widow Mines in there.
Yeah, and a lot of minerals at that expansion.
Yeah.
You can see that ByuL's trying to send a few links through there to try to soak some of that up. I think he has no idea the depth of that minefield and how truly, remarkably deadly that is.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, losing mutas, especially the muta clump, at this phase of the game is bad. Same with Terran losing ghosts,
dude, when he
Liberators, or Widow Mines.
When he flew that huge mutaflock over the bio army and mines and turrets, it was like, oh my God. So much damage. Terrible, terrible damage.
Terrible. I don't know what he's going to be able to do from here on out. He's trying to come in here and crack them.
His mutas are 3/3, so he can still do stuff with them.
Queens are coming up here, which indicates to us that he wants to try to transfuse and stampede over his opponent.
He's going to catch this Bio Force. This is actually pretty huge. Oh my god.
Okay, that's important. Both these guys low on supply.
Yeah, still a lot of mutas being made here by ByuL. These really are just so important for him.
He's got to be careful, though. The more mutas he makes, the more dangerous it is if he flies into a Widow Mine.
Well, you know what his name is? Han Danger Wan.
How many mutas do we have now, Artosis? Do you know?
I'm not
like
quite
30?
Rain Man here, but maybe about 20.
Muta's getting chasing back this one Liberator. Just trying to keep these Liberators as useless as possible.
There is a Cyclone being made, and I can't for the life of me figure out why. Cyclones are bad against everything we see here. Huh.
Okay, Terran, with the ability to kite here, can kind of punish these melee strikers whenever he feels like it's necessary. I just don't know how Zerg attacks into that. We saw a previous situation where Zerg actually managed to come in there, barrel over Terran.
Yeah. And again, I want to see ByuL pulling the army out of this defensive spot. Could he, fly over here, hit something else, make the army come out, and then hit that army, right? Because you can't defend absolutely everywhere. Look how big this map is as far as red goes. Zerg is more mobile. This is a very immobile force with the Widow Mines and the Liberators having to be set up. So I feel like ByuL can just kind of force aLive to chase him around a little bit.
Well, Terran wants to push. I guess you can't really counterattack when you have something like 20 Widow Mines over there. Zerg can't really break that until Terran does push. The mutas have done a decent job delaying the mining. Although I'm just not sure.
Oh, a drop going towards ByuL's top expo.
Yeah.
He might be able to actually kill that off. Everything's pretty far away right now, and the way aLive has been poking, the army is... He's only really paying attention to that area.
Well, I think this is keeping the mutas down here. I think that's what Terran's trying to do by pushing there. Because this drop up here can't be contested. He's going to take out the Spine Crawler, no problem. The drones are now being evacuated, and I think he gets the hatchery no matter what.
Yeah, definitely dead.
And there you go. Funny thing, too, is that there's not that many minerals there, so it's kind of annoying. Do you remake that? Do you mine long distance from that?
Maybe.
I mean, what's the best way to play?
That's a good question.
We're running out of money on the map. Eventually, both these guys are going to be broke if they don't kill each other.
And look at that move by aLive. He's moving in now that he knows the mutas are out of position to deal with that drop. So this was a very good setup. He even set up a Liberator in the back. So you can't... Right now, the mining of ByuL is almost zilch.
And I guess from here, you just wait it out.
Yeah.
Slowly edge in.
Look at this push. That is like... I'm trying to imagine breaking that with any race. I'm like, well, Terran would do it easy, but, you know, the other ones would have a very hard time. Oh, that was pretty good. Set up some of the Widow Mines. Still a hell of a lot more in there, though.
All right, here we go. Coming forward. Harpooning some of those Liberators back here. How much damage can he do? The Widow Mines are starting to go off. These mutas probably cannot fare too well underneath them.
Ooh, he needs to connect with some of these Banelings. I don't think he's going to quite be able to. Runs away with the Ultras. That is still so many Widow Mines. He has to clean those. He's making a couple Overseers right now. Where are they?
Yeah, we're still looking
he has
for
like no time. He needs to clear those Widow Mines.
Because if those Widow Mines connect on those mutas and Ultras, that's it.
Yeah, if the Widow Mines get shots on any of his army, it's over. He has no money left.
Uh-oh, they're done. They're done.
Okay, but hold on. There's almost nothing here for aLive right now. You can slowly but surely pick off all these mines with those mutas.
Is he going to be able to do it, though? So many stacked on top of each other. He has to have perfect Overseer positioning. At the same time, ByuL just hanging on with about 2 Ultras, a few Lings, and a Queen. He's even sending drones down here. Again, another great drop. It pulls the mutas up. That may trigger the attack down here at the bottom from Terran.
He's bringing up his Widow Mines exactly like he needs to with just the Ultra and a couple Queens and Lings here. Oh, my God. Ooh, that was a really good split on the Lings.
Baneling's coming forward. I got to say that he's just so close to killing ByuL.
Yeah.
ByuL is still surviving, but this game is starting to look a little bit like what we had in the previous game, only this one's certainly much more dramatic. By the way, this is a great game, Artosis.
Yeah,
you don't
this
get the
is
cast games
fantastic.
this close very often.
This is pretty ridiculous, but oh, God, now he's fighting on these Liberators.
He's even bringing the SCVs down here.
Oh, he's got to keep that Mutas clock alive. Those 3 Ultras being absolute heroes right now as well. I don't think he has any more transfusions. Oh, my God, SCVs are here. There's like no minerals left on the map, basically. There's some in the top.
Yeah,
for
he mined out
ByuL.
that side.
And then,
well, here's the thing, Artosis. You know what?
Oh my
he can't
God.
make any more attacking units. He can't make anything anymore.
who?
aLive.
Yeah,
he has no more money.
His income
we were
is
so caught up.
almost zero.
So if ByuL just hangs on,
Mules, dude.
oh my God, this is crazy.
This is so
But
crazy.
aLive could do it. aLive might want to get some of his SCVs in the front here. Anything to get in the way of that, of those ultras.
I
Now,
can't believe how much he can hold on.
I guess we have this many command centers. You can get a lot of mules over here.
Well, you may as well just float him into tank damage or put him over widow mines or something, like float buildings over your army so you can't even see it. I mean, anything at this point.
Whoa! Good connection.
Okay.
These ultras still pretty bruised.
I
but
can't even.
I think ByuL, oh my God, this is so wild. He's going to come
cannot
in.
even believe this. He just flew a bunch of overlords in that he doesn't need anymore to suck up widow mine hits, and he clears the widow mines.
Oh, okay, I think that's actually game.
Are you joking me this game?
He can't make anything.
What am I even seeing?
I had not. We were so caught up with ByuL. Okay, it wasn't until late that we realized, oh, okay, aLive is actually mined this out. And he spent all his money. You know, he kept the pressure on, but he's lost too many units. I mean, ByuL is basically doing more with less.
I don't think, and here's the thing, I'm like trying to think if there's any possibility of getting a draw because ByuL is almost out of minerals. I don't think so. I think ByuL has just enough left around the map that he can make whatever he needs to win.
Well, aLive is attacking this location over here. Does get that one hatchery. Got to be careful. These mutas end up getting that the medevacs.
2 Marines left behind. He's not
Every
making
marine
many more
counts.
units.
Long distance mining.
Oh, this is hilarious that he has long distance mining over there.
Oh,
and he set
it's
up
so smart. God,
aLive,
he's
dude.
good.
Oh my God, this is a great game.
Okay, every unit matters now. This is like one of those single-player campaigns where you end up with like 5 or 6 units. You got to go through the whole map, killing everything.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, this is like Rainer's Roughnecks right here, trying to take out the swarm, and that's
GG.
it. I cannot believe ByuL pulled that out. That is so crazy to me. And the fact that aLive made that game. Let's not forget how far behind he was early on. ByuL was in a dominating position, and then it looked like he was dead. Look, he's like overwhelmed, overcome by just everything that just happened here. That is an insane victory.
And what's funny about it, Artosis, is that he's going to be exhausted and have to face off against stats.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine playing a game like that? That's when you go lay down for a minute.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, he's going to have about 5, and that's it.
that's when you tab out and watch some streams for a little bit and eat something and be like, whoa.
Yeah.
Then watch the replay
You got to restore
again.
your electrolytes.
Yeah.
You got to
no
drink
kidding.
some pickle juice there.
That's right,
Jesus.
man. Get some of that pickle brine in there. Wow.
Oh my God.
Great game. One of the
That
best
was
games we've casted for the whole year. That was super
That
cool.
was so good.
So back and forth, but ultimately ByuL did more with less of the resources on that side of the map.
I was definitely questioning some of his tactics too, right? He started like being a little bit crazy, attacking the Liberators and Widow Mines and stuff, but at the end of the day, like when it really got scrappy, he just turned it on.
We are going to go to a short break. When we come back, the final match, ByuL versus Stats. See who will move on to the round of 8 in tonight's GSL Code S.